I would like to ask you to please commit to providing your feedback in the survey. Last year, when we did the survey, we had 43% of our staff who submitted their answers to the survey. I would like everybody to actually answer the survey. We have had some feedback that there is concern that your responses are not anonymous and that we have access to who has said what. We have gone to considerable lengths and considerable expense to use an internationally acknowledged survey management organization called Culture Amp. And in doing that, we are guaranteeing your anonymity. Culture Amp provide us only with the aggregate answers within departments to the survey questions. We have no access to individual answers. The only access that we are provided is in the free text space where you are given the opportunity to provide some feedback. And we always do ask that in doing that, don't identify yourself and please don't identify other people specifically so that we are remaining completely anonymous. Yes, you receive an independent link, an individual link to answer the survey. That link is used only by Culture Amp to confirm that there has only been one submission by each individual into the survey. Some of the other feedback that I have received along the way is people have said, well, I didn't really have anything to say. Answer the questions anyway. It provides us with an indication of how you're feeling as in relation to those questions. And so whether we are doing well or whether we're not doing so well at all in certain areas, it is so important to me that we understand how you're feeling in the organization. I'd also ask, don't only reflect on the questions in the survey about how you're feeling right now today. Sometimes we can get out of bed in the wrong mood, or we may even get out of the bed in a really good mood. Consider the questions in the context of the last 12 months. How are we going? Are we doing well, or could we do better? I know we can always do better, but I really do implore you to answer the questions and to be part of the survey. It's so important if we're going to move the dial on our organization being a really great place to work and to volunteer. After the results from last year, I made two very specific commitments as CEO. I said I would commit to these regular updates through the year. I didn't want to do them every month, but this was the third update this year that I've provided. I also made a commitment to catching up with the cross-section of our people in what I call the CEO Circle lunches, to give me an opportunity to hear from the coalface of our organization some of the issues and concerns that people are dealing with in their day-to-day jobs. I've now held 4 or 5 of these lunches over the year. I have, I think, a couple more before, or one more before the end of the year. And I've really enjoyed the honest, authentic, and absolutely candid discussion that I've had with all of you that have attended those lunches throughout the year. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for the feedback. And yes, I know that there are things like the integration of our systems, the ability to make sure that your daily job is given the great support that it's needed, that you're looking for continuous development in your roles. Those are the things I know that we've got to be doing better in the organization. One of the questions I ask, though, is what keeps you at St. John? And I've got to say, in every single one of the lunches, I've had consistently the same answer, which absolutely delights me. And the reason that we all stay at St. John is because of the people that we work with in our teams, in our departments, side by side in the vehicles, or at a first aid post, or amongst whom that we are delivering our services. That is the reason that we stay, is because we have great people at St. John. And that is a great starting formula for us as an organization. When we've got great people working together to deliver our mission together, that is a great starting position for us to move the dial on this being a great place to work. So please complete the survey. I so want to hear your feedback and answers to those, and you will be anonymous. Something that's coming up in the life of Victoria and in every organisation across Victoria is that at the beginning of December, a new set of regulations, which are called the psychosocial regulations, will come into play. What does that mean? The psychosocial regulations are basically providing a framework for organisations so that they can improve their work health and safety, so that it is more risk-based, by identifying things like bullying, high workload, things like, sorry, I'm just trying to pick up some of my notes here, parity of roles, that these are actually hazards in the workplace that can impact you and your mental health during your work day. Thinking about how we interact together as people in our organisation. And by identifying those as hazards, we then move that into a risk management so that we can become proactive about dealing with these things. And so what we've got is our work health and safety team have designed a program that is very much about consultation and collaboration, making sure that everybody across our organisation becomes aware of all of our responsibilities. This isn't just a management responsibility. It's a responsibility for all of us in the workplace to consider our roles, our jobs, and how we interact with each other in the workplace. So I look forward to the rollout of the information and training program, the education program, the consultation with our relevant teams within the work health and safety environment that will help us construct how our policies and procedures will be able to fulfill our obligations in relation to psychosocial regulations. That thing that we all need to talk about is finances and how are we tracking financially. Well, 2025 has been a tough year. We are coming towards the end of our year, and I've got to say that while we have had an incredible turnaround from the previous really difficult financial results that we had delivered in 23 and 24, 25 has seen an enormous turnaround. And that is due to everybody playing their role in the things that we need to do and deliver as an organisation. But that turnaround has still not got us delivering in a way that will provide continuous sustainable delivery of all of our services and our mission as an organisation at the point that we really need it. And so there is still, in short, there is still work to be done. We've just prepared a budget which will be delivered to the board next Monday for 2026. And it's a challenging budget, but it's a budget that I genuinely believe can take us to the next level of our sustainability financially as an organisation. Within our strategic plan, we have one of our key goals that talks about organisational excellence. And one of the key deliverables within those goals is that we will deliver a financially sustainable business model. And so in that regard, I continue to implore everybody to think about two things that can be part of your role and your contribution to where we are as an organisation. In the first instance, where can we be more efficient in the way that we do things? And then secondly, how can we grow our revenue so that we can continue to drive our financial sustainability? So work to be done, but a great turnaround from where we were last year. And again, I want to thank everybody for your assistance in helping us with that turnaround. As it's projected at the moment, we will probably land in a break-even setting at the end of 2025. And as I say, that's an enormous improvement on where we landed when we declared a $5 million, just over $5 million deficit last year. But we need to be making surpluses. The the terminology that is used for the sector that we sit in, called not-for-profit, is a misnomer. We are a social enterprise. We need to be making profits so that we can sustain our work in the community and sustain all of the services that we deliver. One of the things that I often find that there seems to be a disconnect and that we've not communicated well when we talk about finance is the delivery of our community programs and its connection with how well we're doing financially. I always start this discussion by reminding everybody that we are not CFA, we are not SES, we are not fire rescue. We receive no recurrent income from the government. Everything that we are able to do in the delivery of our mission in the organization as it relates to our community programs is funded solely by us as an organization. And so what that means is the community programs that we deliver have to be funded out of the proceeds of the work that we do, the revenue that we drive out of our commercial programs, whether that's training, non-emergency patient transport, even our coroner's court contract, products that we sell. Wherever we derive a revenue, we need to derive a surplus so that we can continue to support our very important mission delivery through our community programs. So to stop me from droning on and allow this to continue to be a little bit of an interactive session, other than our community program team, I would like to ask everybody that's here this afternoon to name our community programs that are funded by us and delivered by us into the community. So would somebody like to reach out and just call out some of our community programs? Meeting Room G2.
Deep in your street.
Well done, Lee. Thank you for that. Good one. Another one.
First Aid in Schools.
Thank you, Brian. First Aid in Schools.
And Kinders.
And Kinders. Thank you. Absolutely right.
Little Heroes.
Sorry, please say that again.
The Little Heroes.
Little Heroes.
Little Heroes. No, that isn't our program, actually. That's a 000 program.
Good on you,
CPR Lab.
Got me to yell that out.
CPR Lab, thank you. Well done.
Community Transport.
Community Transport. Thank you, Sharon. There is one that we've missed out. It kind of sits within First Aid in Schools, but it is a separate program, and that's our Party Ready program that we deliver into secondary schools. There is one other program that I don't think too many people will be aware of, and it's not so much that we deliver it, but we actually sponsor and support it. And that is that we provide a donation each year to our eye hospital in Jerusalem. Many of you may not be aware that St. John International has an eye hospital in Jerusalem that provides eye care, eye surgery, and eye procedures on an equitable basis to anybody within the context of Israel, Gaza, the West Bank, all of those areas. So whether you are Jewish or Palestinian, our eye hospital and its associated branches throughout that region provide care to people in an incredible way, and they have done and gone through an exceptionally difficult time as we consider all the things that have gone on in that region. We also provide, as St. John Victoria, a donation to help support that very important international community program as well. So I want to make sure that we understand the connection between why it's so important that we deliver our financial outcomes so that we can support our community programs. There is one community program that nobody's mentioned, and I'm quite surprised. And that is our volunteer program of our volunteers going out and providing first aid. It's our first program. It's our original community program. And when people talk to me often about the fact that you have volunteers, so you do it for free. For those volunteers that are online with us, they will know that, yes, you provide your time, and we are so thankful for your time for free, but we need to make sure that you've got your uniforms, your training, your equipment, your divisional halls that you meet at to do your training, that very important aspect of making sure that you've got food and drink when you're on duty. None of that comes for free. And so that community program, again, I go back and say our very, very first community program is, again, completely funded by us as an organization. So that's the link and connection that we all need to be aware of, which is why I often refer to us as a social enterprise rather than a not-for-profit. As I get closer to some of the wrap-up of what I wanted to talk to today, one of the things that I would like to do, and there is a bit always, it is always fraught with a bit of danger, but I'd like to call out some things that have occurred in the life of our organization just in the last few months. Why it's fraught is that I know some of you are going to feel that I've probably missed out calling you out, and I apologize for that. But as I was putting my notes together, these are some of the things that I thought we should just be aware of. I would like to call out the first aid services. I have always called it kit servicing, but the first aid services team, who last month produced the highest number of kits being serviced ever in the history of our organization. That's an incredible job of the number of kits that have been serviced, making sure, again, that all of the people that have access to those kits have current, full equipment to help provide for the care of those that they work with. Goes to our resilience piece. They're also leading the way in sales of AEDs, so well done to that team. Our customer experience team for almost this whole year have been working under an incredible strain of the number of cases that have been building up each month, each day, each week through the year, and getting out to make sure that our customers are getting the service that they need. I want to thank you for working through and your own personal resilience, or your resilience as a team, working in that really heated, hard area of making sure that our customers are getting the service that they need in terms of their inquiries and indications. And I'd like to just say thank you for that, and acknowledge that in the last few weeks we've had a breakthrough as we've started to see that caseload starting to come down. So well done to that team for just persisting and staying in the game with that one. Our seniors community care team, just in the last just over 2 weeks, moved into a new government framework called Support at Home. It has not been an easy task to prepare and get themselves ready for that. It has meant new systems, new ways of working, new ways of delivering, communication with customers, preparation for all of our care staff right across that organization. It has been an enormous piece of work that needed to be done. And I want to call out the community, our seniors community care team, for the work that they have done in making sure that transition has been absolutely seamless. So well done to that team, and thank you for the enormous effort to make that happen. Just in the last weekend, previous weekend to last, our event health service and volunteer space delivered what was probably the busiest weekend of the year in terms of numbers of events, size of events, and commitment from our volunteers to delivering those events without a hitch. So well done to the team pulling that together, and thank you to our volunteers for your dedicated delivery of that mission into the community as well. Following on from the high achievement of our first aid services team, our training team also delivered the highest month of the year in terms of numbers of students trained in October. Well done, and thank you to everybody from sales, customer service, but our training team physically delivering that training out in the community at at commercial enterprises, in our training rooms, right across the state. That has been an absolutely wonderful achievement. So thank you for that. And as I said at the beginning of this update, we regularly receive such incredible commendations and heartfelt thanks from patients for our non-emergency patient transport Coroner's Court team for the way that they provide patient-centered, person-centered care in the delivery of their services. And thank you for the consistency of the way that you provide care throughout the year. So just some of those things. As I say, I know I've not covered everything, but I wanted to just make some kind of call out. I also want to just say welcome to our new staff. We're so grateful for the new energy, new team, new expertise that comes into our organization that you bring as new staff. And you're part of an organization with a deep heritage of community service commitment, and you're now part of that team. And I look forward to seeing each of your contributions as you grow in strength in your roles. As always, I want to take the opportunity to just say thank you to everybody. It has been a tough year. It's been a year where you have all stuck to delivering with passion our mission and helping us in the delivery of the vision that we have for our impact into the community. We cannot do what we do as an organization without each of you doing what you do. And so I want to say thank you. St. John is the organization that it is, and the community reflects on the fantastic organization that we are because of what each of you do in every part of our organization. And whether that's the warehouse, whether that's finance, whether that's marketing, fundraising, our service delivery arms of training and patient transport, and volunteers out in every single aspect of who we are as an organization, we deliver what we do because of you. So thank you. That's enough from me. It is, other than one question that I would like to ask, but there is an opportunity now for open questions. But I would like to just get a little bit of instant prompt feedback about whether these update sessions have been useful to you, whether we should persist with them next year, and whether there are things, so those are multiple questions, I get that, but whether there are other things that you would like me to add into these updates that you would like to hear that I can bring in as part of this update. So some opportunity for feedback, but also an opportunity for you to just throw out some questions for me that I can hopefully answer as well. So across to you in terms of anything that you'd like to have a say on.
One thing that came from one of the circle lunches that I came to, Gordon, was that the members present don't know what the other teams do. So perhaps at these meetings, these updates, we could have maybe a 2-minute brief from maybe 2 teams at a time to find out what the others do.
Thanks, Sharon. A great idea. And I think that you're absolutely right. There is an opportunity for us to incorporate that. So let's look at how we can do that next year. Thank you, Sharon. I'm taking it that we would like to continue with these updates next year. I've got a thumbs up from the patient transport team there. I think it's important that I get the opportunity to let all of you know about some of the things that are going on and have an interactive session to just remind us about what the organization's up to and what we're committed to as well. Are there any other questions directly from yourselves that on things that I may not have addressed in this update that you'd like to hear about? If not, I'm going to keep right to my 45 minutes and say thank you to everybody for your time. Thank you for joining the discussion. Thank you for the interaction. Mostly thank you for everything that you're doing. There is one last reminder that I was asked to put out, and that is if you haven't put your name down for the staff Christmas party that is coming up in a couple of weeks, please do. There is still space for a few people to get into the party. There's a lot of work and effort that's been done to make it a great occasion for us. So please do get your name down and get one of the tickets to come in. I'm going to wrap up with that. I look forward to celebrating our year with you together at the staff Christmas party. And again, thank you for being part of this discussion and this update this afternoon. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your